Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews, and today we're gonna be talking about the second Batman game, Batman Arkham City, one of the most critically acclaimed, celebrated, I almost said sports, superhero games ever, or Batman game in general, known for a lot of crazy things, or known for just being a great game. And I'm here to tell you why it is a great game. Here to tell you some things like, how everyone says you feel like Batman. I'm only gonna make that reference like right here. Yes, the game makes you feel like Batman, but I'm gonna tell you what it doesn't make you feel like as well. Um, but yeah, this is I reviewed Arkham Asylum not too long ago. I bought the Return to Arkham collection, which came with the three Arkham games. Finally sat and played Arkham City. A lot of people said it was one of their favorite superhero games. It is the best one, which kind of sucks because I know I have Arkham Knight next, and everyone's like, Arkham City's better, and I'm like, no. And anyway, I'm still going to Arkham Knight with high hopes, but this game was good for a lot of reasons. Um, I guess I should start off with what I didn't like first because it's a shorter list. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking in my head. I should go back to what this game didn't make me feel like, and that was Bruce Wayne. It's one thing that's gonna be, um, well, I guess I should give the premise of the game as well. You start off, you're in Arkham City, and there are kind of like two or three plots going on at once. I would say the main ones I can think of right now is the Joker is sick. He's got something to do with the first game. The reason he turned out to be the way he was at the end of Arkham Asylum is now carried over into this game, and has made him sick where he's dying, and he ends up infecting the Batman as well, which then leads them both into looking for a cure, and leads to the doctor or Mr. Freeze, a scientist, and so on and so forth. The other plot going on is Hugo Strange knows your identity. This is all very early revealed, so I'm not spoiling anything. Hugo Strange, the main, I would say, villain of the game, knows your identity, and has a big plot or plan called Protocol 10, uh, waiting to do what he wants to do with the world. There's a lot of cool bosses in this game. The villains, Batman's as good as the villains, as they say. And this game takes place in one night, which kind of goes back to my uh, Bruce Wayne thing. You don't play as Bruce Wayne at all. You do in the beginning, and that is it. And not really play as him. You just like walk around as him, beat up some guys, get your suit, and then you're Bruce Wayne. I want to play multiple days, like with the Spider-Man game. I'm reviewing this backwards because not back. I haven't reviewed the Spider-Man game yet, but I've played it, and I will review it sooner or later. But you play as Peter Parker in that. You don't play as Bruce Wayne in this shit at all. but but you do feel 100% like Batman. You got the detective shit going on. You got, because there's detective puzzles. You got all your gadgets. There's so many gadgets in the game as you unlock them throughout in like a Metroidvania type way, Zelda-esque way, or whatever you want to compare it to. Um, the city itself, Arkham City, Batman became an open world game out of nowhere, in this pretty cool looking city. It doesn't look the greatest, but its theme is very alive. It represents the gothic darkness of the day or night, whatever. The city is in despair. A lot of shit's going down. Criminals are everywhere. Like I said, the villains. There's actually not as many boss battles or villains as I thought there would be. It's not like four or five. I'm not gonna spoil all of them. My favorite is Mr. Freeze's. I think that's everyone's favorite, because he kind of, you have to outthink him, which that's how a lot of the boss battles kind of are in my opinion with the Arkham games. I don't like them like that. But Mr. Freeze takes it to another level, and that kind of goes for all the fighting in the game. This game's kind of a beat 'em up. You press, tap square a million times to hit, press triangle to counter, and that's the game. Until they start throwing enemies at you with shields and stun batons and knives and big ones that beefy, and then you gotta like stun them and then jump on them or jump behind them, and you gotta and then they throw them all at you at once. Inside of I mean, we all know Joker's in the game, right? Mark Hamill's greatest performance almost ever I've seen on anything is the Joker in this game, and then Kevin Conroy, the voices from the animated series, the voices from the first game, back again with their chemistry, and Joker gives some great lines to Batman. Batman is still kind of, his script overall is not very emotional. Towards the end, Batman does go through some emotional stuff, but Bruce Wayne doesn't. I don't know. It's not enough for me. That's what doesn't make this game a 10 out of 10. I'm just saying that now. There's not enough emotion there yet, and I need emotion in my games. And there's just none. Everything else is great, but emotion. Besides nostalgic emotional, I mean, the game is perfect when it comes to the lore of Batman and how true it stays to all the villains. I mean, I didn't do a ton of the side missions, but there are so many side missions and side bosses or side villains or whatever. I wouldn't say side bosses, but side villains with the people showing up from the first game to villains I haven't even seen yet, and I kind of was like, oh, that's a Batman villain. You know, things that I was like, whoa. Only bad thing also I'd say about this game is it expects you to kind of be a huge Batman fan and know its lore. Like, Robin shows up in this game like once or twice, and I didn't even know Batman had a Robin yet. Like yet, you know, I didn't really realize how late we are in Batman's career. He's an old ass man in this, really. But he's still cool. You know, you can glide around the city, great. You know, moving around the city is fantastic. It's not no Spider-Man 2018, but it's great for its time, and it doesn't feel bad at all. The game holds up to today. The story is good. There's a twist. It kind of makes you think about it. You know, think about the game afterward, or think about it all the way. It makes you give some replay value of the story. Another thing I didn't really like about this game is all the side shit. Like, people usually love side shit. People love the Riddler trophies. I'm not for that. I don't like all these Riddler trophies, how many different ways there are to unlock them by flying or doing time trials or using your gadgets. I mean, I guess it's cool there for people who do like that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't want to be timed on my flying around as Batman. I just don't. To get a trophy. I just don't. A Riddler trophy. I mean, Riddler's a great villain. And I think he gets mad as you get more trophies, and all that stuff's cool, but just not for me. I really V-lined the story, did some side stuff, or at least started some side stuff, didn't like finish it, but I was like, oh, that's cool. There's a lot of content here. There's like 30, 40 hours of content here if you actually want to complete the game. If you're like me, there's like a nice 10, 15, 20 hours of story that is really good and still worth playing. The boss battles alone make this game worth playing. There's only like 5 boss battles, but I would say they're all good. They're all really good. The first one is probably the least one, and it just gets great from there. Yeah, so I would say that it's great. The game sticks to its source material. Great voice acting, great story. I've said my complaints. What else? Enemies later in the game, as I think I was saying, they kind of adapt to what you do to them. After a while, they'll start to get night vision goggles or x-ray vision goggles so they can see you up on your goblins because you're trying to be stealthy at some points. They'll start to get more guns, you know. Start to get signal jammers so you can't see through walls. You know, so the enemies do adapt. It makes you think a little bit more, and that's consistently throughout the game. The game was never too easy, but it was easy, I would say. I played on like medium or normal or whatever. You know, I pretty much only died like 3 or 4 times in any fights. But I also was I made a strong Batman with a lot of health and armor. But anyway, it just, you know, it wasn't too hard, but it was just the right amount of challenging for a guy that just wanted to play a Batman story. And it is Batman's story at its best. Overall, my final verdict of this game is going to be a 9 out of 10. Very solid Batman game. I think if you like Batman more than me, I love Batman. I just didn't love the side shit. You know, if you like all that side shit, this game is probably a 10 out of 10 to you. But to me, it's a 9 out of 10, and it's missing that Bruce Wayne element and emotional aspect still. It has a little bit more than general than Arkham Asylum, but not quite that much. So it's a 9 out of 10 for me. Check out my Arkham Knight review coming up soon, or a Spider-Man review soon. You know, all these superhero games I gotta review yet. Arkham Asylum review I did a while ago. This was a 9 out of 10. Arkham Asylum was not as good as that, but it was still a great foundation. So, you know, good step up. I'm done talking. 9 out of 10. Arkham City. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.